Eric Wilson here, independent licensed mechanic, 30 years of experience. In the next 5 to 7 minutes, I'm going to show you the inside story on this 2012 F350 so you can make yourself an informed decision. Now, you've got about 50% tread on aggressive snow tires, so down but definitely not out. Now, coming behind the front left tire, pardon me, the front right tire, first thing I want to point out is that this is the lower ball joint, this is the upper ball joint. Both of these are tight, and that is critical because it holds the wheels to the chassis. This is the outer tie rod, the right outer tie rod. This and this is a dual combination there. Both of these are tight, and that's critical because it's the only thing that holds the wheels to the steering is those two outer ball joints there. Now, on the right, this right here is your right sway bar link connector from there down to there. That is connected, doing its job, and that dampens the sway when it goes around a corner. Now, your right spring suspension intact, no cracks, no breaks. Your brakes, give me a second, I'll tell you what they are. You got about 30,000 K on your front brakes, so you definitely got a good amount of brakes here. Now, your right front shock, this shock is full of oil. If it was leaking, you see it dripping all the way down here. That is good and dry. So brake-wise, leak-wise, suspension-wise, I'm not seeing any issues on the front right. Okay, now nobody wants oil in their driveway, so what I'm looking at now, the bottom of the oil pan here, and if it's going to leak, you'd see it leaking all the way down here, and a little hard to see there, or it would see it leaking along here, and this is bone dry. In fact, I don't see any leaks here at all. This is your spring, this is part of your steering, shock, another shock, part of your steering. Again, if it was leaking, you see it dripping all the way along here, good and dry. So brake, I am not seeing any indication of leaks, oil or antifreeze here at all. Okay, coming in on the front left tire, you got about 50% tread on aggressive snow tires, so definitely down, but definitely not out. Now, coming behind the front left tire, the left sway bar link connector from here to here, good and tight. The outer ball joint is tight, critical, keeps the wheel to the steering. Your lower ball joint tight, your upper ball joint right there, sorry, a little hard to see, yeah, right there, is tight. Now, now another leak point would be at the bottom of the front diff here, and you see for yourself, good and dry. So I'm not seeing any leaks there at all. Another leak point would be right here, where the drive shaft, I'll get a focus there, where the drive shaft comes into the front diff, and see for yourself, good and dry. The left front shock, good and dry. Left front spring suspension, no cracks, no breaks. No breaks. I don't see any issues so far on the front right or left. Now, this is your catalytic converter, and there's nothing wrong with it. Trouble is, so people are reaching under and going, cut. They're going, cut with a Sawzall and cut with a Sawzall, and they're doing it to both cats because you've got two, and that is going to cost you about $1,000 when that happens, because they cut it, they take it to the scrapyard, they get a couple $100, and you've got yourself $1,000 repair. Now, if you buy the car, I'm going to bolt on the stainless steel cables like this, and I know it's hillbilly, but it's going to stop them from being able to cut this cat off. They're just not going to waste their time, and that, my friend, is not going to cost you a penny. If you buy the vehicle, contact me, and I'm going to strap on these stainless steel cables, and nobody's cutting through those puppies. Another leak point is the bottom of the tranny here. See for yourself, bone dry. Another leak point right here, where the drive shaft comes out of the transfer case, bone dry. I mean, somebody's been off-roading on this truck, though. Okay, coming in on the rear left tire, you got about 30,000 K on your rear brakes. Your rear left shock, if you see for yourself, good and dry. Your rear spring suspension, no cracks, no breaks on your rear spring suspension. There's no indication of leaks here. This is a leak point right here. If it was going to leak, you'd see it all down here. The bottom of the differential here, good and dry. I'm not seeing any brake-wise, leak-wise, suspension-wise, on the rear left, no issues. Got your spare tire and a really good heavy hitch. Okay, coming in on the right rear tire, about 50% tread on aggressive snow tires. You've got about 30,000 K. Same on the front as you got on the back, about 30,000 K. Leak point right here. If it was leaking, you see it right there. It's good and dry. The spring suspension, a little hard to see, but you follow it down. No cracks, no breaks. Your right rear shock, if you follow it down, good and dry. Another bottom of the diff here, another angle, good and dry. In fact, I'm not seeing any leaks here at all. Brakes plenty, no leak points. The shocks are good. So far, so good. Now a quick perusal of the right spring. No cracks, no breaks. Left spring, no cracks and no breaks. Okay, you got a crack in your windshield. Definitely going to want to deal with that. And with the motor running. Okay. Motor running, you have got, where was that K again? Okay, 227, 735, definitely not high K. And no check engine lights. Your AC blowing. Let's check out the AC. Oh yeah, blowing nice and cold. Okay, shot of the motor running. And with the motor running, a shot of the exhaust. Very clean, no smoke. Now, I always take the oil cap off. First thing I do, look underneath there and say, okay, is there any white goo? White goo would be an indication of oil and antifreeze mixing, and that would be a big problem. Walk away. Now, I don't see any indication of that. In fact, I don't see any indication, I don't hear any indication of problems in this motor. As far as I can tell, it has been well maintained. Yeah, so that's my estimation of the vehicle. I don't see anything of any real concern. Cracked windshield, yes. Definitely needs a good wash underneath, because this thing's seen some muddy fields, I can tell you that much. But more importantly, if you buy the vehicle, remember, free catalytic theft protection system that I'm going to put on there. You heard me right, free. Number two, I'm going to give this thing a oil spray that's going to cost you nothing, and it's going to stop rust for the next 2 years. And that's a good thing, because there is surface rust, but we can stop that in its tracks with a free oil spray. Number three, I'm going to give you a free 10% fuel saving device that I have used for 30 years, never fails. Now, all you have to do is contact me if you buy, and I will take care of that for you, and you will be out the door. And hopefully this will help make an informed decision. Thank you very much.